Bible hacks with Pastor Matt. Bible hacks with Pastor Matt. Bible hacks with Pastor Matt. Gonna read the Bible. Super cool.
Hey, what's up, Forest Park Church? It's your North Campus pastor, Matt Rose. I kind of like that theme song. If you like it, you should comment in the chat so we can do more theme songs like that and just superimpose our voices over cartoons that you've had since you were kids. I'm just kidding. We won't do that. But it's our second week of Bible Hacks with me, and I'm really enjoying it because I geek out over scripture all the time. And I'm going to start really quickly by reading a passage to you. And it's in Mark chapter 7, verse 31. And I'm going to read it, because then we're going to go somewhere with it. It says, again, he, that's Jesus, went out from the region of Tyre and came through Sidon to the Sea of Galilee, within the region of Decapolis. They brought to him one who was deaf and spoke with difficulty, and they implored him to lay his hand on him. Jesus took him aside from the crowd by himself and put his fingers into his ears, and after spitting, he touched his tongue with the saliva. And looking up to heaven with a deep sigh, he said to him, Ephphatha, that is, be open. And his ears were open, and the impediment of his tongue was removed, and he began speaking plainly. I always found it interesting, this passage where Jesus spits, and he puts his fingers in a dude's ears. Why would he do that? And so I want to talk to you about today is the idea of the immediate literary context. I know, big words, I know you know what literary and context means, but literally, what is before and what is after the passage you were reading? Because so often in my life, when I would read a passage, I would be confused, but then I would move on because I don't like to live in confusion, rather than investigating at a deeper level to see what happened before that might give me a little more of an understanding as to why what's happening is happening. So today I just picked one that I had thought about before, and I started looking before. And so the first thing we see right beforehand is there's another scene where Jesus interacts with a Syrophoenician woman. And he tells her some really kind of intense things about dogs and eating food and things like that. Pretty much he tells her that she's like a dog. And that's a paraphrase, but if you go read it, you'll see it. And that was also confusing. Where are these confusing healing moments coming from? Why is it happening this way? And then I continued to go above. And here's what I found, that Jesus gave a real good teaching point about the heart of man. And here's what he says, starting in verse 14 and 15. He says, listen to me, all of you, and understand. There is nothing outside the man which can defile him if it goes into him, but the things which proceed out of the man are what defile the man. If anyone has ears to hear, let him hear. It says, when the crowd left and entered his house, his disciples questioned him about the parable. And he said, are you lacking in understanding also? Do you not understand that whatever goes into the man from outside cannot defile him? But because it does not go into his heart, but into his stomach, and is eliminated. And he was saying, that which proceeds out of the man, that is what defiles the man. For from within, out of the heart of men proceed the evil thoughts, fornications, thefts, murders, adulteries, deeds of coveting, and wickedness, as well as deceit, and all these other things. All these evil things proceed from within and defile the man. Now, it was really impactful for me. It was eye-opening because you have two stories, the Syrophoenician woman, and then this man where Jesus puts his fingers in his ears and spits. Talks about what goes into this woman, right? He talks about food. And then in this scene with this man, he spits. That's something that proceeds out of him. Now, I'm not gonna tell you that there's some huge symbolic reasoning that he spit or anything like that. But what I do know, and this is just so basic, I haven't even gone into the full description of what this could mean theologically or even for you personally, but it gives me context. Jesus is talking about what goes in and what comes out, and immediately following, there are scenes about things going in and about things coming out. It just helps us get a bigger picture. I know what you're thinking. Like, Matt, where's the encouragement in all of this? Here's your equipping, not encouraging. Your equipping is look further than the passage you're trying to understand, and it will help you understand at a deeper level. And I hope that encourages you as you move forward, because there are so many scenes in Scripture where if you look before, you find the whole reasoning for what God or what the author is talking about. That will be helpful for you, I promise you. It's been so epiphanic, let's use a big word. It's been so helpful for me in my relationship with God. So y'all take that, put it in your toolbox, and use it this week, and let us know how it was helpful.